Good evening and welcome to Medical Dialogues Journal Club, your daily dose of health and medical news. I am Dr. Nandita Mohan and I'm going to discuss a very interesting research topic today that will be the DFEND randomized clinical trial, which is the abbreviation which is for the vitamin D supplementation compared to placebo in people with first episode psychosis, which is the neuroprotection design, which is abbreviated as the DFEND trial. The trial was conducted to assess the effect of vitamin D supplementation on outcomes in people with early psychosis. Vitamin D deficiency is more common in people with psychosis than in the general population. The concentration of 25-hydroxyvitamin D, the transport and storage form of vitamin D, commonly used to assess the overall vitamin D status, is quite low in many chronic mental as well as the general medical condition cases, including those of psychosis. This finding is thought to result from poor general health associated with sedentary lifestyles, less sun exposure, and even poor general nutrition. Patients with psychotic disorders are at an increased risk of vitamin D deficiency. There is evidence during the first episode psychosis and is often related to unfavorable mental and physical health outcomes. Results from a recent trial suggested that vitamin D does not improve the 6-month mental or physical health outcomes in patients with early psychosis. However, the researchers mentioned that public health strategies while developing the population-wide interventions should consider the high prevalence of vitamin D deficiency. The study was published in the JAMA Network Open. The trial examined adults aged 18 to 65 years of age within 3 years of a first presentation with a functional psychotic disorder who had no contraindication to vitamin D supplementation. 2,136 were assessed for eligibility, 149 were randomized, and only 104 were followed at 6 months. The primary outcome was the total positive and negative syndrome scale, which is often abbreviated as the PANSS score at 6 months, while the secondary outcomes included the total PANSS score at 3 months, PANSS positive, negative, and general psychopathology subscale scores at 3 and 6 months, Calgary Depression Scale score, waist circumference, body mass index, and glycosylated hemoglobin, total cholesterol, C-reactive protein, and vitamin D concentrations at 6 months. Global assessment of function scores were also assessed. Based on the study, the researchers observed no differences in the intervention to treat analysis in the primary outcome, the total PANSS score at 6 months, or the secondary outcomes at 3 and 6 months. There was also no significant differences in the global assessment of function symptom score. Vitamin D levels were very low in the study group, and that the treatment was considered safe and led to a significant increase in 25-hydroxyvitamin D concentrations. Hence, the findings of the current study similarly did not provide evidence that vitamin D supplementation for 6 months shows benefit in the treatment of the first episode psychosis, but highlights the fact that not only a few individuals in this group are vitamin D replete and thus may benefit from particular attention in any future public health strategies. Thank you and stay safe.
Never miss a medical update from Medical Dialogues. Like, subscribe, and press the bell icon.